refs sucked. We sucked. Why Brad Wanamaker got more minutes than Torrey Craig is still boggling my mind right now. Because while Torrey Craig wouldn't have put out the offensive production that Wanamaker put out, because he did put out 7 points, I'll give him that. But Torrey Craig would have stopped way more points on defense than Torrey Craig would have scored on offense. Torrey Craig cost us easily like 10 points, more than 10 points on defense, whereas Torrey Craig would have forced misses on multiple of those shots. And he's also bigger going up against the Toronto Raptors lineup that is also bigger, so his defensive ability would have been very greatly helpful in those situations, and on offense to tell him to dish it to someone who is actually making shots. Why are you playing Brad Wanamaker more than Torrey Craig? Torrey Craig is easily better and will easily help us win the game more. We brought it back to within 10 with like 4 minutes to go. If we were better on defense, we could have won it, and Torrey Craig would have helped us on defense. Also want to address the Pacers fandom for being completely out of line. After 3 bad games, actually really one bad game, well, never mind. After 2 bad games in a row. 2 bad games in a row. Just 2 bad games in a row over the course of 3 days. Pacers fans are already wanting a rebuild. Multiple holes of logic. One, rebuilds last for 5 to 10 years. How are you going to make it through 5 to 10 years of sucking when you can't even make it through 2 games? You got to be patient. You got to be patient for a rebuild, and you're not even patient with a team that's missing Brogdon, LeVert, and TJ Warren. And people say, well, we've just been hearing the same, wait till we get healthy for the past 2 years now. We're close to getting LeVert back. We're going to get Warren back in January. Under the course of a year, we're going to be healthy again. Whereas a rebuild would take 5 to 10 years. The time correlation is way off there. Also, who is going to be the guy in the front office to be good? Obviously not Herb Simon. He doesn't want to spend money. Kevin Pritchard, you might say, he's good at getting young talent. He's good in trades, but he can't keep any of it. And I know some people say, well, Kevin Pritchard's held back by Herb Simon's cheap budget. Then how come Kevin Pritchard is willing to shell out how come Kevin Pritchard is able to get $45 million to give a contract extension to Malcolm Brogdon, but he can't give up like $2 million a year to keep Elijah Johnson, couldn't give up a few million a year to keep Georges Niang, who people will say was bad in his rookie season. He barely got to play in his rookie season. So how can you say that he was whatever? Also traded away Edmund Sumner, which was completely stupid. I know Achilles injuries are hard to work back from. We're talking about a guy who's worked back from other injuries. He worked his way up through the G League to carving out playing time. Like, Edmund Sumner has an insane work ethic. He can easily come back and play just as good as he was before. Kevin Pritchard has made multiple bad decisions when it comes to keeping young talent, and he can't seem to keep guys around for that long. And he only has to shell out a few million for some of this bench talent that has just so much potential. So why all of a sudden would he start actually keeping the young talent? No. We would just fall into eternal suckitude until Herb Simon dies and Jim Irsay buys the team and actually starts to want winning. So after 2 bad games in a row, you can't take it anymore and you want to rebuild. And you think you can take 5 years of suckitude and just being terrible? You can't take 2 games of being terrible. And you can't take 2 years of not being healthy. But you can take 5 years of a rebuild. I doubt that. I highly, highly doubt that. Pacers fans haven't had to go through a rebuild since the 80s. I've seen actual rebuilds with the Red Wings and the Tigers. What it took for the Red Wings to become an okay team was having Steve Yzerman, one of the best executives in the NHL, makes amazing trades, keeps young talent, and drafts good young talent and keeps it. The Tigers, for them to start being okay, this is just being okay. After 5 years of just absolutely sucking, it took the Tigers having one of the best managers in Major League Baseball, and the only reason we got him was because he was involved in a sign stealing scandal. That's the only reason we were able to get him. And once he came on, we started doing a lot better. Yes, we had better talent, which plays into it. The young Illich actually started spending money and making good decisions. Alavilia actually started making good decisions. Don't know where that came from. And AJ Hinch, one of the best managers in Major League Baseball. And then, same situation with the Red Wings. You have one of the best executives in the NHL, and you have an owner who actually wants to spend money and win. The Pacers have none of that. They do have a good coach in Rick. Sometimes he makes some questionable decisions, like putting in Brad Wanamaker, but for the most part, he's good. That's about it. That's about it in their front office. As far as front office goes, you don't got one. You don't got a good one. You got one that can acquire young talent and fleece teams in trades, but that doesn't matter when the players only stick around for a few years and then they're gone because either we don't retain them or we trade them. It's just the same cycle every year. Have a few bad games, want everyone traded and fired, have a few good games, we're going to win a championship. Same cycle, over and over and over. You say you get tired of losing in the first round, but you never get tired of going through the same cycle over and over again. Over the course of a few games, you go through the whole grieving process. There is no logic. There is no logic with this fan base. Because Pacers fans haven't really had to go through that much in terms of rebuilds. So they don't understand what it's actually like. It's not fun. It's not easy. I don't think you understand just how bad things get. In basketball terms here, instead of hockey or baseball terms, let me put it in basketball terms. The Knicks, between the years of 2015 and 2020, that's what we would be. For 5 years, always sucking, always getting screwed in the draft, or if we do make a good pick, they go somewhere else. Terrible free agent signings, bad owners. That's what we would become. Only for possibly a longer time period. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say at this point. Because this fan base is just... It doesn't deserve a championship. And this fan base doesn't deserve a championship. This team has the makings of a good team. Nobody wants to realize that, though. No one wants to actually take a look at the roster. Nobody wants to actually be patient. No one has the abilities. The fans don't. The front office doesn't. Nothing in the Pacers organization has the ability to make it through a rebuild successfully in a short time. It's not possible. The fans don't have it. The front office doesn't have it. You're not going to make it through. But whatever, keep on calling for a rebuild, and I hope you get your rebuild. I hope we blow up the roster. Everyone gets traded. Bring in terrible players. Try and rebuild. I hope that happens so that when, once again, I am correct and we suck for the next 15 years, you'll only have yourself to blame. I'll sit there laughing because I tried to tell you. You didn't listen. Just like, hey, you didn't listen to me when I said Victor Oladipo was going to be good. When I said Domantas Sabonis was going to be good. When I said the two big lineup could work. And it's been working. They've been successful together. When I said we should stick behind Miles Turner no matter how bad it got. When I said we should play Moneyball and start bringing in guys like O'Shea Brissett and Edmund Sumner and Elias Johnson. Didn't realize until it was too late that they were actually good, though. But I called it. Nobody listened to me, but I called it. So what in the world says that I would be wrong here? I haven't been wrong in a very long time. The only time I've been wrong when it comes to the Pacers was TJ Leaf. So where is the evidence where are the holes in the evidence that I am presenting? Please tell me. I'm open to trying to figure out how this team could make it to a rebuild. I am open to it. I want to hear how the rebuild would happen in great detail. That way, maybe there is some optimism that we can make it through a rebuild. Been right about so many things, but still nobody wants to listen to me. I don't even know what more I have to do to prove that I'm actually correct most of the time. I don't even know. I don't know what more the Pacers could do to try and prove to the fan base that over an 82-game season, you're going to go through ups and downs. It's an 82-game season. We've been through 4-5 games. There's still 70-something left. Plenty of ups and downs to go through. Plenty of times left. And there's no signs of this franchise changing. So just like every year, you say, by February, this team's going to be completely different. By February, the team's the same. Same cycle. Over and over and over. And if the team does make a move, it's a move nobody likes. I don't know what more to say at this point. I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm not funny. Can't wait for the Nets. We're going to get blown out. And then the fans are just going to get more overboard as we lose more and more. The fans get overboard more and more and more. I don't know what else I expect from this team and its fans. Fans are just like the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Only at least Steelers fans have gotten to experience a championship in somewhat recent memory. Whereas Pacers, not so much. And even though I am very loyal to this team, Pacers fans don't deserve to experience a championship. They aren't patient enough. They aren't open enough. They just don't have it. See you guys next time.
Just got unlucky on a few plays tonight. You know, one of those plays, I thought he was standing still, but he just hit the shit out of that one guy, and the guy went flying. They blew the whistle, and they called it on him.